Hey, it's Bernadette. So it's the 4th of July here in the US, and here I am in the raw. In the raw, no makeup. Um, just got done with Charm Life coaching, our Tuesday coaching, not our normally Thursday coaching, it's additional coaching. And we've been talking about some stuff that brought up this whole thought stream. And I thought, okay, I'm going to jump on and talk about it. And it's the belief of in freedom. I mean, here in the US, we're celebrating Independence Day, freedom. And it's a little bit of an oxymoron because how many people do you know actually are free? Truly free? Because most people aren't. Most people are living their lives trapped in all kinds of different criteria that doesn't allow them to be free. Say hello if you're here. Say hello if you're watching. I want to talk about this with you guys because it's been something that's showing up a lot in our coaching um, in Charm Life, and I know that a lot of my clients battling different things that keep them from feeling free, from being liberated. And when I say freedom, this is what I mean. Are you free to express yourself? The good, the bad, the ugly. Hi, Miss Carmen over on YouTube. Do you feel free to have the life that you want? Do you feel free within your body just as it is right now without changing anything? Do you feel free in the circumstances you're living in? Do you feel free in the way that you think about yourself? Or do you feel limited, caged? What do you feel? Hi, Mr. Richard. What do you feel? Do you really feel free? I mean, right now we're at a time in history where, in the outer world, in politics, globally, in different countries, our rights to freedom of speech are being squashed. And, we can look at that and go, well, there's nothing I can do about it. Oh, but you can. You absolutely can. It starts with you, and it starts with you internally. And what we've done is just accepted that lack of freedom in our own lives with ourselves, out in our personal lives. We always have to take it to that macro level, like, how's it showing up in me? And when I ask myself that question, like, am I truly free? Am I free to feel what I feel? We just did a whole coaching around, feelings and expression. And one of the things that came up in our coaching was this thing we do to our kids as parents. And many of you that follow me are parents, so you'll know, but you also were raised by boomers like me. And we were taught, and tell me if this is true for you, we were taught that when we were upset about something, when we were angry about something, go to your room until you're ready to come out and be nice. How many of you had your parents? Did your parents do that to you? And then you've done it to your kids? You're on timeout. You're not coming out until you've learned your lesson. What was the lesson? That you've got to be nice. No matter how you feel. That is an assault on freedom. Freedom of expression, freedom of how you feel. You get punished if you don't feel the way that someone else wants you to feel. And we've taken that into our lives as adults. And now we're in survival mode, like worried about how everybody else thinks. And we want to make everybody happy. And we don't want to ruffle any feathers. And we don't want to make anyone disapprove of ourselves. That is not freedom. That is constriction. That is a cage. That is comfort because it's familiar and it's known. Most people don't know what it's like to have freedom of self expression. And that keeps you in survival mode. It keeps you striving for more and never attaining it. Why? Because you've never addressed the things that keep you caged, never addressed the things that block your authenticity. Is this resonating with anybody? Yes, I was told to go to my room. Come out when you're nice. And that sometimes was like after you got beaten because you had attitude, right? And what was the attitude? You were hurt, you were angry, something bothered you, you didn't like the way something was happening. Maybe you got into a fight with one of your siblings because they said something that really hurt your feelings, and or they took something from you. And instead of allowing children to feel the loss, to express their disappointment, we tell them, don't do that, don't feel that. How many of you have shared things with other people and it's not something they want to deal with, so they tell you, well, don't feel that way, right? Someone asks you like how you're doing and you're like, I'm pissed, and they're, well, don't feel that way. How many of you have been told that? How many of you have told other people that? Because this is where it gets real. Like, how many times have you taken someone else's freedom to feel what they feel? Whether it's your children or it's a friend or it's your partner. We do it to our partners a lot. Don't feel that way. Don't think that way. Fully robbing them of their freedom of self-expression, freedom of thought, freedom of being, right? Because it's not comfortable, because we don't want to deal with it. Are we truly free? I would posit that we're not, unless you've attained the level of healing in your life that your past does not define you, your traumas have been healed, you've rewired your brain and your body to a place of peace, to a place where you are free to feel what you feel. We are so busy getting out of our feelings. We're so busy avoiding them. We are so busy suppressing ourselves for fear of upsetting somebody. We live in this world now where even our speech is getting, they're creating laws around what you can say, what you can't say, when you can say it, when you can't say it, how you can say it, where you put it, like ridiculous amount of laws, how you view yourself, how you talk about yourself. They're legislating how we show up in the world. If you don't like it, then start with you. Because the minute you find the freedom within yourself to express, to feel, to walk through even the discomfort of your own feelings. And man, we just went through this whole thing in coaching about, we're so afraid to dive deep into our feelings, like we're going to die, like we're going to suffocate. So what do? We spend so much time avoiding it, going around our feelings, keeping up in our heads and analyzing, why do I think this and why do I feel that, but never really allowing those feelings to be expressed. We think if we put it out there that some bad, horrible thing is going to happen, because that's what we were taught, right? When you were angry, when you were sad, when you were crying. Here's another one. You Gen Xers, I know you've heard this. You're going to cry. Like our parents would say, don't you dare cry. If you're going to cry, I'm going to give you a reason to cry, because the reason you had to cry was not enough. Tell me in the comments, was that you? Did you hear that one? I heard that one a lot growing up. Oh, super sensitive. I was told all the time, you're overly sensitive. Don't you dare cry. I'll give you a real reason to cry. So what did I learn? Don't cry. You don't have a reason to cry. How you feel is not important. How you feel is not important. You're not allowed to feel that. Carmen's saying, yes, this is true. Yeah. So what do we learn? What do we adopt as far as a belief system that then takes us farther away from the freedom of true, authentic expression? We learn you don't have a right to be angry. You don't have a right to be upset. You don't have a right to cry. Suppress it, repress it. What that does is puts it into your body in such a way where it turns toxic, and it turns into things like arthritis. It turns into things like IBS. You want to know why we have so much chronic illness on this planet? It's because for generations now, we have repressed and suppressed so much of the truth of who we are and how we feel. And we've made it wrong to feel anything but positivity. Yeah, I'm a life coach. And yes, I'm a spiritual mentor. And I'm all about getting yourself into a high vibe place. But that does not mean that you don't get to feel your real, true feelings about a matter. It doesn't mean you suppress it. It doesn't mean you bypass it. Spiritual bypassing, emotional bypassing is such a thing, because everyone wants to manifest their greatest life. You want to get things. That's not the height of freedom there either. Manifesting things is such an easy, trivial, juvenile way to live your life. Your life is going to manifest whether you like it or not. Things are going to manifest into your lives, mirror into your lives, whether you like it or not. Taking it to that other level is knowing what's manifesting because of how you are and how you're not, but allowing yourself full freedom of expression, be you. Be free to be you. So I want you guys to think about that. I don't want to make this a super long video. I just really wanted to pop on and drop those thoughts into your head. Am I free? Do I forget about everybody else? Forget about the world. Forget about what people tell you freedom is. Do I allow myself the freedom to feel what I feel and to express what I feel? Either to myself, to my journal, in my car, with someone who can hold sacred space in such a way where they can feel it and hear me and not try to change me, not try to get me to not feel it. Do I allow myself full freedom to feel what I feel? The minute you go there, you're no longer in survival mode, trying to make everybody happy, people pleasing, creating boundaries that work for everybody else but not you, saying yes to everything, right? It's funny how we create boundaries for ourselves but not for other people when we're in survival mode. That is not freedom. That is not anything but surviving. You're existing in a cage, and that cage goes with you everywhere you go until you identify with, where am I getting in my own way? And some of you, like me, were raised by baby boomers. In your Generation X, some of you are millennials that were raised by Gen Xers like me that took those things that our parents did and said, because they didn't know how to deal with their emotions, because they were told to buck up, right? Why did the boomers do that? Because during the time of the Great Depression, everyone just had to put aside their feelings and just get back to work. During the war, World War II, and then Vietnam, get back to work. Just get back to, forget about it. Like, it's going to take extra work. Buckle down, work hard. So many of the beliefs that people come and work with me for to set them free from has to do with what came out of those generations. And yet we carry it on to our children, and then they to their children, until you become awake and aware, and then you can shift and change it. But really, like, we learned it from our parents and we adopted it, and then we are looking to set ourselves free from it and heal from it and go to therapy over it. Oh, the biggest part is to express it. Be okay with it. Stop trying to make yourself be perfect. God, we live in this crazy generation where everyone's trying to create this image out in the world of perfection and beauty and, look, I got my shit together and I'm all that. When in reality, you just put yourself in a cage of what perfection looks like, and you call it freedom. It's not freedom. Unless you're free to do things like this, show up on video, no makeup, on a holiday without giving two shits, and just here to serve. Unless you're willing to allow yourself to feel all the range of the spectrum of emotions on this planet, and there's a lot, from hatred and indifference and anger to joy and bliss and love. There's a whole range. You don't just stay on the positive side. The more we get into that toxic positivity, the worse we are to ourselves in allowing ourselves to be free. So I'm going to challenge you today as you walk through, especially if you're in the US, if you're walking through Independence Day, how independent am I? How free am I? Free to be me, free to express, free to be my best self, free to be my best self in my worst mood. Like, it's okay to be in a bad mood. Don't beat yourself up about it. Like, are you free to do all of that without, paying for it later? What's it for you? And what does freedom mean to you? There's so much that we can do to take our lives to the next level. But first, we got to figure out, why am I stuck at this level? Am I just surviving? Because a lot of you that follow me, man, you don't even realize you're in survival mode. You don't even realize that that's the baseline for your life. And that's also why you're not achieving the things that you want to achieve. That's also why you're not shining and emotionally light and expanding, and you're not showing up for other people the way you want to. You're just not in that place of freedom. You're in the cage. What makes up that cage is going to be different for each one of you, based on your experiences and what you've learned and how you've made sense of the world and how you've set up the rules for survival in your mind and in your life. And for everybody, it's slightly different. It's very unique to every individual. So I'm going to invite you, if you're ready to do that work on yourself. I've helped thousands and thousands of people break free from their limitations, from their cage. You know, the cage is comfortable. The cage is known. It may not be fun. It may not be freeing, but I'm not going to die. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, if you learn how to work through the things that you've held in, suppressed, that have made you sick, shown up in your body in such a way that it's created an unwanted experience, a dis-ease, DM me. Let's jump on a call. You're welcome, Miss Carmen. I hope you have a wonderful 4th of July. My favorite part of the 4th of July is the fireworks. Just love fireworks. Always have. Reminds me of living on my boat in San Diego. So we're going to the fireworks show tonight. One of my charm lifers is coming over with their kids. We're going to go swimming, have a barbecue, fellowship, share, laugh, play. And who knows what else, you know? Kids might have meltdowns. I'm going to let that be okay. Might get mad at each other. Let that be okay. What can you let be okay in your world for you today and for the people that are around you? Activate freedom today on levels that you just never thought about it before. I hope that sparks some insights. If it did, put it in the comments, even if you're watching the replay. I love hearing from you guys, and share the video. It might make someone really think about it for themselves. You know, sometimes we remove our own freedom because we think we have no choices. I know lots of people that are in relationships right now that want out, or in jobs that they hate that want out. And they're like, but I can't because of money, or I can't because of the kids. And you come up with all these reasons. All those reasons are your cage. You know, you opt for the comfortable known, then striking out into the scary unknown. The reality is something's only scary until it becomes known. And it's okay to be afraid. Don't suppress that either. Be honest with yourself about it. But you can be afraid and do it anyways. You can be afraid and move through something anyways. Trust me, you're not going to die. Not in regards to this stuff. All right. Be safe. Be well. Be blessed. Be a blessing. Have a wonderful day. I love you guys. I'm going to be coming back more on live stream. I've been doing a whole lot of administrative kind of work. My computer took a dive on Saturday, so I had to go turn it in. I got it back. They messed it up. I have to reset everything on it for the next couple of days. I got to take it back in because I can't get to any of my programs at all right now. I'm like, what did you do to my computer? You freed up memory. You reloaded Windows. There's a whole lot of gigs. I have 150 gigs of stuff on my computer that I can't get to. Like, it's not showing. I have no access to it, so I have to take that back. Once I have everything set back up in my office properly and I can access everything, I will be back. And I'll be coming on more regularly. I've got some webinar stuff that I'm going to start showing up regularly to do with you guys. If you have not, like, you want to work with me, but you're like, I can't do it one-on-one, and I'm not ready to make the commitment to change my entire life and charm life, just come in and join us in Hidden Wisdom. Once a month, I do a monthly forecast on the first of the month. And then the third Wednesday of every month, we do coaching. So you get to work with me one-on-one in that coaching program. It's in a group, but go check it out. It's right on my website, bernadettegold.com. Come join us. You know, you learn from other people. I love group coaching because sometimes someone has something they bring to the fore and you didn't even realize you had that thing too. And oh my gosh, it always works that way as a group, and the group think like all the right issues get talked about, all the breakthroughs that need to happen for everybody. It's all about how open you are. And it's a sacred space. I don't put up with any kind of bullying. I don't put up with judgment-free zone. Right? We're committed to growth zone on all levels, mind, body, spirit, on all levels, mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual, because you got to take this all holistically. I love you guys. I wish you the very, very best today. Have a great day. See you later.